War beim World Masters mal im Halbfinale vor einem Jahr und hat jetzt den Schritt zur PDC gewagt. Aus Schottland, Menzies. Gegen einen ehemaligen Top-10-Spieler an. Der Mann hat Premier League-Erfahrung, der stand in 9 Major-Finals, hat zig Pro-Tour-Turniere gespielt und obwohl er eigentlich Adieu sagen wollte, ist er jetzt irgendwie zurück. Aktuell auf Weltranglistenplatz Nummer 40, ihn kennt ihr alle. The Bull, T.Jenkins! Und selbstverständlich auch ein herzliches Willkommen dem Caller dieser dritten Begegnung. Es ist The Voice, Russ Bray.
Welcome back to the action here at the German Darts Open. Comfortable wins for Kirk Shepherd and Steve West. And the third match here on Friday afternoon is a return to the European Tour stage for T.Jenkins, who hasn't been around on the Euro Tour since October 2016, having kind of retired last year, but he's decided to give it another go while he's still in the higher echelons of the world rankings. And he's going to have a bid here to do some damage on the European Tour, taking on the new Scotsman on the PDC circuit, Menzies. And as always this afternoon, Mike Lawrence joins me, Chris Murphy, to talk you through it.
Yes, Terry had announced semi-retirement after the 2017 World Championships. Just missed out on qualifying for the 2018 Worlds, but said he was getting a bit tired of all the travelling. But here he is in southwest Germany, Saarbrücken.
First leg, Terry to throw first. Game on!
So it'll be interesting to see what sort of form the 9-time major PDC finalist T.Jenkins is in, up against, as you say, the young Scotsman from Muirkirk, Cameron Menzies.
He has been playing the Pro Tour again this year, T.Jenkins. But last year, just to give you an example of how little he played in professional darts, of course he was still doing the exhibition circuit, but he only played on 3 separate weekends of PDC events in the whole of 2017. In fact, when he did appear at the German Darts Championship at the back end of 2016, he was a seeded player for that tournament.
Yes, he had plans to concentrate more on the antique business, which takes a lot of his time and interest. But always a popular character on the circuit. As you say, very popular on the exhibition scene. So good to see him on stage here.
So you never lose it. T.Jenkins fires in a maximum in the first leg on his return. Battered back.
An early chance for Russ Bray to clear his throat at the start of the afternoon. He wants double topped as Jenkins. And hits it.
T.Jenkins, second leg, Cameron to throw first.
Well, they're out of the box in this one.
59.
Menzies made his European Tour debut in the first event of this year. Lost out to Michael van Gerwen in a match where he did have chances against the world number 1. Having seen off Mark Wilson at this stage. And he's already beaten a Jenkins in qualifying for this one. So off Andy Jenkins on his run here before victories against Ricky Evans and Jamie Caban. So a very impressive qualifying campaign.
And the winner of this one will play the number 9 seed, Ian White, in the second round tomorrow. Second round matches all played during the course of 2 sessions tomorrow. And then Sunday we see the third round, the quarterfinal, the semi and the final being played. One epic day of darts, an epic weekend of darts.
49.
Yet again here in the European Tour.
T.Jenkins' qualifying campaign included a victory over a man whose name is written into European Tour folklore, Ross Smith, the last man to hit a 9-dart finish on the European Tour.
Was that 2013?
Yeah, record stretching back 5 years now.
Incredible.
92.
So good opportunity for Menzies to bounce straight back, but Terry's going to put some pressure on it with his second 180 in just the second leg of this match.
32.
Well, has it put the pressure on and made Menzies buckle? Not the case. He finds the double last start in hand.
81.
Similar complexion to the previous match, where you feel both players would have felt the draw could have been kinder.
92.
On his return to the Pro Tour, Jenkins has had a couple of runs to the last 16, but not beyond that yet. And it is a first meeting between this pair.
86.
Yes, Cameron played at the Lakeside World Championships, the BDO competition, before heading to PDC Q School at the start of the year.
We did mention the curse of Ross Smith earlier on. Cameron Menzies did have a 9-darter in qualifying for this tournament. We might have to start making that count.
Yes.
Terry required.
Stretching it as far as we can.
Well, the bull was looking for the ball. He's left himself 89. And this has just opened the door
34.
for the Scotsman.
And when he requires 75. 55. Terry requires 60. Game shown, the third leg. Terry Jenkins, fourth leg, Cameron at first.
So going with the throw so far, and a great start to this fourth leg by Cameron Menzies, switching with that last start.
Yeah, solid stuff on double top for Terry Jenkins. When he can find that target, he's a very, very dangerous competitor for any opponent. Why he's reached so many major finals. If you are seeing Terry Jenkins back in action for the first time, you'll notice a different look. We've mentioned it on the Pro Tour if you've been tuning in via PDC TV. It was as a result, actually, of Terry Jenkins was involved in a car accident. And then he lost his hair as a result of alopecia.
And it was a few months later after the accident, so a real delayed reaction.
Menzies just checking, it's in the 25. Well, he can ask where that is, but he won't like the answer.
27.
Oh dear.
Yeah, as we mentioned, Terry Jenkins, the kind of man he is, it's something he's taken in his stride.
120.
Something he'll even joke about now.
How many require? 55.
Tends to tidy up.
45.
Chasing the doubles
Terry
around here.
147.
147, a potential big break.
$97.
So can Cameron finally make amends? Well, double two. Oh well, he's in the madhouse if Terry Jenkins doesn't take out 50.
Well, he said, can he make amends, Mike? Which I like that little pun, but it's a mess that he's making, isn't it?
30. Cameron, you required.
Well, you've got yourself into this mess. Can you get yourself out of it?
Well, no, is the answer. Head in hands time. And both players just having a bit of double trouble, but it is Jenkins now with a two-leg advantage over the Scotsman. Yeah, Terry Jenkins was in our shuttle from the airport yesterday to the hotel and saying Let's see if he can fill this up. Can't quite do it. Saying in some ways the alopecia is the best thing that ever happened to him because he doesn't have to shave again. And he also said he can walk around his hometown in Ledbury, unrecognised now.
Yeah, he once had his
do a double take.
His famous moustache shaved off for charity a good few years ago now, and it never returned. But good to see him back on the tour. And who knows, maybe his day will still come, the eternal darting bridesmaid.
130.
As for Menzies, he was disappointed not to pick up a tour car when he opted to make the switch across to the PDC, but he has won a Challenge Tour event.
Well, a chance then for Jenkins to put some real daylight between himself and Menzies. 3 darts at double top if he needs them. Good marker.
He's got one of those rare throws where you can go over or under the dart, Terry Jenkins.
85.
Don't stand up as much as the way you just saw Menzies' darts there. Just see a slight
95.
It's okay, we've not been invaded by aliens. Some sort of generator has just kicked in the background here as Cameron Menzies looks to fill up the bed, can't quite do it. Two players on European debut next on stage. Tobias Muller, one of the home nation qualifiers who'll have local support up against a Dutchman, Mike Kijvenhoven.
Yeah, 2 men making their debuts and then drawn against each other, so it will be a certainty that one of them will win on debut.
83.
Following that, Jan Dekker against Daniel Larsson. Rennie Idams, another home nation qualifier, against Ricky Williams. Richard North against Danny Noppert. And Jose Justicia against Luke Woodhouse. Menzies has teed up the Shanghai shot, although he needn't take it out because Jenkins hasn't left to finish. He might though. Double top.
Game shot, the 6th
Nicely
leg.
done.
Cameron Menzies, 7th leg cherry to throw first.
Much
Game
needed.
on.
Yes, a nice solid finish there on the 120 for Menzies, just to
60.
keep him in it. But Jenkins does have the throw here, and we'll look to take advantage of that. Neither player pulling up any trees with their opening 3 darts. Better from Jenkins that time. And a better response from Menzies.
He's a great player to watch, Cameron. He's got all the faces, all the emotions, but he's not really got much of that going today because he hasn't been able to get himself going.
95.
He'll be disappointed there because had he found one more treble 19, he would have left himself the 170 out.
87.
As it is, he's still ahead in the leg. So this match isn't quite over yet.
140.
And Terry the Bull charged into a 4-1 lead. But Menzies looking to peg him back to 4-3 here.
138.
It would be a break of throw. Crucial moment, you feel.
Game shown, the 7th leg. Cameron Menzies.
Well, looking really good on the
8th leg,
doubles
Cameron
now.
throw first.
120
Game
followed
on.
by a 68 to go to within 1 leg of the ball.
96.
Just something has sparked in the last couple of minutes for Menzies.
57.
And the bull huffing and puffing right now.
Well, made amends with the final dart after a poor opening 2 shots.
97.
Well, still blistering that treble 20 bed.
Number 2 for him. And looks poised to level this up and make Terry's 3-leg lead disappear. Decides not to go for the razzmatazz.
So double 12 for a level game here, which looked unlikely just a few minutes ago.
Game shot in the 8th
And a 13 darter to do so.
9th leg, Terry to throw first. Game on.
I know that Jenkins has the darts and would therefore have the darts in any deciding leg, but right now, Menzies to me looks the most likely. That first 9 average is giving himself more opportunities. You see they both hit 4 doubles in the match, of course, but Menzies has twice as many shots.
60.
Quite theatrical with some of his motions, Cameron Menzies, especially showing his disappointment when retrieving the darts after a poor visit.
There you see that difference in checkout percentage, but in the last 3 legs, Menzies has pegged the double first dart.
100.
So actually, despite leading it 4-1, the scoreline could flatter to deceive Terry Jenkins.
100. Terry, you require 141.
Well, this would hurt.
Oh, can't do it now. We'll look to set it up
89.
in the hope that Cameron Menzies can't take out this 80. He's got 2 darts at double 10 here to go ahead in the match. And does so. Great marker. And you see what that means to him ahead in the match for the first time here. A break of throw and throwing now for the match, the young Scotsman.
And that is 4 legs on the spin. And he unleashed an almighty roar. So he's roared his way back into this contest. And now, his favourite to win it.
$55.
Oh, here we go. His third 180 of the match, and what a time to do it. Gets him down to a finish, throwing for the match.
161.
It really has been a case of it's not how you start, it's about how you finish. And Cameron Menzies has awoken just in the nick of time and left Terry Jenkins seemingly powerless to do anything about this charge.
Game, shot,
and it's all over. Cameron Menzies reels off 5 consecutive legs to overturn a 4-1 deficit and knocks out Terry Jenkins on an unhappy return for the Bull to the European Tour after an 18-month absence. And the Scotsman, for the second time, goes through to the second round where he will take on Ian White tomorrow afternoon. We'll be back in a couple of moments with a couple of debutants. Let's hear from Menzies first.
He was up 4-1.
I think he felt sorry for me. Terry Jenkins is obviously maybe... He's still a good player, by the way. Like I know he took a step back for the last couple of years or two, but his averages are still class. But he gave me a wee chance. I'm lucky enough I took my chances, but I'm sure he's pretty much raging because I'm sure it was in his hand there, and he let me in. So obviously I'm quite lucky. Yeah. Makes it worthwhile.
And it's good to have you here on a Saturday. It will be more crowded. That is still one reason why you did this change to the PCC to play in front of thousands of people, to have this big party.
Well, Leverkusen was the first time I've played like Germany, like stage like that. Obviously, I know Friday's quite quiet outdoors because people work and stuff like that, which is understandable. But the experience on the Saturday, even getting beat for Van Gerwen, like I felt like I won that game. I went home quite happy. Like I took 3 legs off Van Gerwen, and I was like, yeah, I get beat, but who cares? I played in a massive place, and the prime example on that stage, and then he's sitting over there, and I was like, I'm a fan and a player, but that was like my heart was pumping. Like, my heart was more nervous with the walk on than playing him. It was nuts, but yeah. Hopefully tomorrow will be. I will be busier, but
it will be packed tomorrow. It will be full. Yeah.
Well, we knew. Like, obviously, my first year doing this, Leverkusen was pretty much exactly the same. You get the players' lounge, and as soon as that door opens to let the players go through for the walk on, you just feel the noise. This is why I made the change. Even though I've not got a tour card, I've still got a long way to go to that player, but this makes it worthwhile.
Cool. Thanks. See you tomorrow. Oh, do your own words. Er kennt genau 2 deutsche Wörter. Danke und schön. Cameron Diaz, netter Typ, sagt